Hello, my name's Emily Liu. I am the Digital Accessibility Coordinator at Minda. We got some great feedback from our last Consultant Academy session that you want to learn more on how to make media accessible. So in today's session, we're going to be talking about accessible multimedia, which is required by law. But more importantly, it means you can reach a broader audience that more people can benefit from the content that's being created. Multimedia accessibility has become an important part of the digital strategy to ensure your content is accessible to all. We're going to be covering caption, description, and transcript. We're also going to use a decision tree tool to address accessibility need right from the start of your multimedia project. Let's get to it. First, we're talking about captions. Captioning is a process of displaying synchronized and accurate text alongside the spoken dialogue and sound effect in the video. It usually appears on the bottom of your screen. Captions are typically used to make videos, television programs, and other forms of media accessible to individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing. There are two types of captions. First, we have open captions. They are always visible and cannot be turned off. They are embedded directly into the video, making them difficult to alter if you need to change your content. And similar to images, open caption text can lose its quality when the video is compressed for web posting, which result in kind of fuzzy and hard to read text. Then we have closed captions, sometimes referred to as CC. This can be turned on or off by the viewer, and unlike open caption, closed caption exists on a separate text string. And because they are in text format, they can be indexed and made searchable, which helps improve your SEO ranking. When it comes to caption, it's not just about helping those with auditorial impairment and to give them equal access to information. Caption can also benefit many different target audience, which is why they have become very popular. Sometimes the captions are provided to help with content that is difficult to understand. Students sometimes find them helpful because this allows them to see the content, particularly if they are studying to learn a new language. Captions can also be helpful for people who have difficulty processing audio, and some folks just need more time to process audio, and it's faster for them to read than listen. Accessible video with caption makes it easier to discover, and because it will improve your content searchability and make it more indexable. And research shows that people spend more time to watch your video if you have captions, and they're usually more engaged. Videos with caption double the number of people who finish watching your video. And search ranking is tied on how much time people spend on your page, and therefore this can also help improve your overall site ranking. Next, we're going to talk about description, and it's often called audio description or video description. This is a secondary audio track of narration synchronized with the media, describing important visual cues that cannot be understood from the main soundtrack alone. The audio description is usually inserted during a natural pauses in the dialogue or song of the video, allow the listener to follow along without interrupting the flow of your content. These descriptions are specifically designed for individuals who are blind or visually impaired, helping them understand actions, settings, or facial expression, and other important visual cues that are not conveyed through the dialogue or sung alone. And similar to captions, producer can choose either to provide a closed audio description through a button on the player, oftentimes labeled as AD. So you can see on the figure below on the slide, there's an AD for audio description, and similar to CC for closed captions. Or you can also offer two media links to the viewer, one with open description and the other one without. For pre-recorded media, professional describer create a second soundtrack that editors then add into the media. Auto description is also required for pre-recorded multimedia content and pre-recorded video-only content. In the live events such as webinar or in-person presentation, oftentimes the speaker can provide the description, and so you might not need that auto description. And here is a checklist to help you ensure that you're creating accessible media using auto description. First, you want to make sure to include all key visual information that are not included in the script. You need to have concise, accurate description that are added at the appropriate time. There should be unique description voice used and require a high quality audio to ensure the appropriate file format and deliver either in a separate link or allow access within the player like the AD button. There's one important tip I want to give you is that if all the information is included in the audio script, then you do not need to add an audio description. For example, if your video display a list of 5 important items, the items should be read out loud instead of saying, well, here as you can see, there are 5 important points. Or you can have your speaker introduce themselves rather than using on-screen text. And instead of saying click here and then click here, the presenter should describe what is being clicked. And this way, no separate audio description track is necessary. Next, we're going to talk about transcript. A transcript is a text version of the media content and benefit many types of people, including deafblind users who might consume the content via a refreshable Braille keyboard, or screen reader user, and people who have difficulty processing auditory information. And unlike caption, transcripts are not time synchronized with the video, but instead provide the full content of what's spoken in the separate document. Text-based transcript typically include spoken words, they're all dialect and narration, and relevant audio cues, sounds like laughter, music, or important background noises. Then optional visual cue oftentimes you see in the movie that include a bracket for key visual element in the bracket, such as someone has entered the room. There are a variety of situations in which you might want to consider providing the text transcript. So for pre-recorded video only or multimedia content, a transcript or audio track presenting equivalent information is recommended. This will make it easier for your user to find transcript by either placing or link to it directly under the video on your page. And to support audio recording for a public meeting, or to make a podcast or slide presentation more accessible. And you can also include transcript to supplement a caption video. And before you're tempted to ask one of your coworkers to type up a transcript for your meeting, keep in mind that a single hour of audio can run as much as 100 pages of text. So if your meeting is supported by a live captioning or a CART, C-A-R-T stands for Communication Access Real-Time Translation Services, remember to ask them for a transcript as part of the deliverables. The key to have accessible media is to think about accessibility in the planning stage. You can ask yourself questions like, what messages are you attempting to convey? How is your choice of media that best meant to convey this message? And finally ask, what do we need to do to make this message fully accessible? The figure on this page is a decision tree from session508.gov. If you're creating a media from scratch, use this decision tree tool to address accessibility needs right from the start. It shows a quick and simple 2-question workflow. The first question will ask, will we be using sound? And if you answer no, I am not using sound, just the video, and this will be considered video-only media, and it requires either a transcript or audio description. If you answer yes, we will be using sound, then you should ask, will we be using video? If the answer is still yes, we'll be using sound and video together. This is called the synchronized media, and that requires both captioning and audio description. If you say no, we'll be using sound only, and this will be considered audio only media, and that requires a transcript to be published alongside the audio media player. Okay, that's all I have about creating accessible media. I hope you'll find this information useful next time when you're making your video more accessible. And after all, you work very hard to create a video, so make sure that more people can access the content, and enjoying them is very important. In the next few slides, I'm be covering the ADA regulation and policies. So traditionally, the ADA, American with Disability Act lawsuit have been focused on physical accessibility, such as wheelchair ramps, parking space, etc. But in the recent year, the new lawsuit have been focused on digital and website accessibility because they are easy to test and document. According to data from UsableNet, in 2024, almost 99% of the cases claim accessibility issues are on the desktop website, and their lawsuit filed against companies using accessibility widget, which we call it overlays, are growing. So there are ADA Title II that covers state and local government. Title III is business and nonprofit. There's also Section 504, Section 508, and the web accessibility content. Sometimes we call it WCAG. And our Minnesota state focus on the WCAG 2.1, level 88. And I wanted to point out that in the April 2024 this year, the U.S. Department of Justice amended its ADA Title II regulation. And like the rest of Title II, this rule applies to all state and local governments and other entities that provides public service will all have to meet WCAG 2.1 level AA within the next 2 years, which means by April 24, 2026. And for more specific accessibility requirement on website and mobile application under this rule, please visit the link provided on this slide. Digital accessibility means the website, tool, and technology are designed and developed so that people with disability can use them. And our state law requires state agency to adhere to federal standard for accessible document and website. Effective of July 1st, 2024, this year, the state of Minnesota has updated the standard to incorporate WCAG 2.1 level AA. You can view the updated standard and learn more about the WCAG guideline on the Minnesota Information Technology Office of Accessibility website. The links are on the slide and also included in the resource guide. And also to let you guys know that the vendor is submitting a response to RFP might require to complete a VPAC form. VPAC stands for Voluntary Product Accessibility Template, and we recommend you review the guidance from the Minute website procurement session. The links are provided in the resource guide you will receive after the presentation and also included in our video description. And on the same page of the Minute Office of Accessibility procurement session, there is a policy-driven adoption for accessibility tool, PDAA, that also offer you some helpful information for vendor to measure their internal support for accessibility. Finally, I would like to highlight that in our MnDOS contract under Terms and Conditions Exhibit 8 on page 10, there is a specific language regarding accessibility standard. It states that all video must include closed caption, audio description, and a link to complete transcript. There are more about documents and other type of material, which we're also including that guidance in our resource guide for consultant. Hopefully that will help you understand what we're asking from our MnDOS consultant to deliver accessible materials.